Some family heirlooms are land, some are jewelry. Ours is a story about my uncle shooting a teenager in the butt with salt. So, my family used to own this old farm that backed right up to a high school, nothing fancy, just fields, a tree line, and a little 2 foot chain link fence separating our property from teenage chaos. Now, back then, kids from the high school loved to hang out in those woods. You know the type, sneaking cigarettes, cheap beer, thinking they're being rebellious while sitting on a pile of someone else's property. It started small, a little trash here, some bottles there. But then, they started getting bold. One year, some kids actually hopped the fence and stole the engine out of our old dump truck. Yeah, they didn't even take the whole truck, just the engine. A few months later, someone busted out all the windows on our combine. It was like the woods had turned into a free for all for teenage stupidity. My uncle, tough old farm guy, zero patience, looked like Clint Eastwood with a shotgun, finally had enough. So one night, he loads up his 12 gauge, but not with regular ammo. No, he fills it with salt shot. If you've never heard of it, it's basically a farmer's way of saying, get off my land. It stings like hell, but won't kill you. Anyway, rumor has it, he started going out there at dusk, hiding by the fence line, waiting for the next batch of high school hooligans to show up. For years, everyone in town talked about it. The crazy old farmer who shoots rock salt at trespassers. But honestly, I always thought it was just family folklore, like one of those exaggerated stories that grows bigger every time it's told. Until one night, and years later, I was hanging out with a guy I just met at a bar. We get to talking about where we grew up, and he mentions the name of that same high school. So I tell him, oh yeah, my family used to have a farm right behind there. And he pauses mid-sip and says, no way. You know that old dude who used to shoot at people with salt? Man, that guy was crazy. He shot my friend in the ass once. Now I'm sitting there, trying not to smile, just letting him go on. He's like, I swear, dude, we were just hanging out, drinking in the woods, when this guy comes out of nowhere with a shotgun. Boom. My buddy starts screaming, clutching his butt. We never went back there again. That stuff burns. And I just stare at him, totally deadpan, before bursting out laughing, like tears in my eyes, kind of laughing. He's looking at me like I've lost it, saying, it's not funny, man. That shut hurts. And once I finally catch my breath, I say, oh, it's funny. Because that crazy old guy, that was my uncle. He just blinks at me, totally silent, as the realization hits him. Then he mutters, tell him I'm sorry. I grinned and said, he'd probably say you earned it,